Welcome, I'm Ian Bidstrup from Spinal Vet Australia. I'm delighted to be finally delivering a series of short videos on saddle fitting and saddle related pain. I'm a veterinarian who's worked with horses' back pain for over 30 years now, and saddles are an integral part of dealing with back pain. So I hope you enjoy this next episode of the series on saddles and saddle related pain. Let's start with the points of the saddle, looking at the pommel, the twist of the saddle, and the seat of the saddle rising up into the cantle at the back. The twist of the saddle varies for different pelvic shapes of people. Women tend to have a wider pelvis than men, of course. The wider pelvis needs a little bit broader twist and broader saddle seat quite often. A lot of saddles are actually made for the shape of men, so historically that has been the case. It's changed in more recent times because the majority of equestrians these days are women, as we know. This piece of leather here is called the skirt, and it covers up the stirrup bar underneath. Stirrup bars have various shapes, and we'll talk about those further in saddle design. This is one variation of knee block, which helps to secure the rider in the saddle. Of course, we've got the stirrup and stirrup leather here that the rider puts their foot in, of course, and this is the keeper for the stirrup leather, should it be longer and need a keeper. Underneath the flap we have the girth points. We have a forward one, a middle one, and a back one. And which one is used varies with the shape of the abdomen of the horse, and that's covered in saddle design. This one here is often used where the belly of the horse is lower and more pendulous, if you like, rather than a racehorse type belly. If the horse has got a fairly racy sort of belly, this one will work, and it'll also work. These two will work quite well with the Prestige A52 RP girth, or relaxed performance girth, as well. So that's an advantage of that girth. The tree point is under this area here. This is the tree point pocket, and the tree point is part of. Let's see if I can get this up for you. The tree point here is part of the framework of the saddle, and the tree point length varies a great deal in saddles, and it's a really important part of it, as well as where the panel, which is where we're going to go in a second, where the panel starts. If it starts up higher, it's a real problem for many horses, particularly those with medium to high withers, whereas high beginnings of this part of the panel and pressure over that area can create soreness in horses. If we go under the saddle now, tree point area of the panel, this is called the waist, which is a very important part of the panel, but often underrated by saddle makers and riders. And this is the saddle seat. Every part of the saddle panels and the utilisation of the tree under it is super important for the comfort of the horse, because these panels and the tree that supports it takes the load of the rider, and if it's not well spread, then the horse's back suffers greater pressure per square centimetre, and that has real consequences for the horse. So this panel is well supported by its flap and works a lot better than if we had an independent panel. Good broad panels at the back, and it's also got gusseted seat. So this suits for horses that need a little bit of extra padding, particularly those that have lost muscle, or a high withered sort of horse. They'll often need a reasonable amount of padding. If a horse is quite fat and wide, the padding, you may not want a gusseted panel like we've got in the front as well of this type of saddle. You may want a thinner one so you come closer to the horse so the saddle doesn't roll so much. Thanks for watching. I look forward to you joining me for the next in this series on saddle fitting.